It was a great week off for our team. I think we did some of the things that we wanted to accomplish. The week off was, a lot of academics, and I saw these guys around all the time. They did do a lot of working out. They came back to practice this last couple of days pretty good. The East Carolina game was a big game for us. We came out, we played. Our defense played outstanding. Offense played like we probably should have played. With a new quarterback, first time. Really getting a chance to start. And then the special teams also played really, really well for us. And we're lucky to come away with the overtime victory. Cairo did it again for us. But thank you guys for coming out. And any questions?
Nick was really limited in practice today. Can
Yeah,
you update?
well, I don't know if he'll play or not. He's we counting on him to play, but he's at about a snap count of about 40 throws. So, and he's upping it every time. I think it's his arm strength that we got to get back going. He looked pretty decent on what he was doing today, but, it's a decision whether you do or you don't. Do you risk him getting hurt again, or do you just say, okay, just leave him out and just, give him another rest for another week. So we'll make that determination, later on in the week.
Is there a sense if you play him too early that the chances that he would incur some terrible injury would be increased if you play him too early, or what is the hesitation?
Well, there's always a risk of that. I look over there and I see his dad, and his dad sometimes gives me the yay, and sometimes he gives me the no. So he was at practice the last couple of days. So I really don't know what that means coming from his dad, but there's always a risk that may incur. But we're gonna play him when he's healthy, when we feel he's healthy enough, and when he'll help the team as much as he can. Just a little bit of complacency. I told him the Sean Payton story about the cheese, don't eat the cheese. And just getting out to practice. I was very, very encouraged how we practiced this week, these last couple of practices, because they practice hard, they practice fast. You thought they'd come out and be a little bit lethargic, but they wasn't at all. I mean, they were running around, they were flying around, hitting and doing some things well. So I was encouraged by that. Were they off all week? I don't know. I saw a couple of guys over there. Well, yeah, I guess you could say I did, because they were off and we were off. But the one thing I wanted to do, I wanted to get healthy again. I really wanted the academic stuff. I'm always concerned about our student athletes getting a chance to, make up work or get ahead on work. We've been doing this thing since August, and the whole time they've been in school the whole time. So that was my biggest concern. And then, we got a couple guys down in Montana and a couple other guys that are a little bit banged up. So I wanted them to get a chance to rest also. No, we practicing both of those guys. I just want to know what they can do. We're trying to see what both of those guys can do. We also played Jordy some also today. We gave all three of those guys reps. So we just gotta figure out who can do what and who gives us the best chance of winning without getting Nick hurt anymore.
Is there any way you
You know what? I don't know if we want to do that right now. The thing about Tanner Lee is I think he's going to be a fantastic quarterback. I just don't want him getting hit. All of a sudden they bring this bliss that he doesn't see. He's a young kid and he's not aware of it, and then he gets hit, and then he's out. But right now those three guys are in the mix, and I like what I see. What I saw in practice today. He was fantastic. He was fantastic. Arlene was the one that was a little bit gimpy, but he was really good. Robert ran well today. I like what he's doing. Well, I'll take you back even further. We hadn't beaten Tulsa since 1968. That was the last time we beat them. So, it's a team that's going to be tough for us. They're big. They're physical. They have what you call the it factor in this league. They're one of those flagship teams that in the league you got to play well to stay in the game with them. I think Coach Blankenship does a phenomenal job running the football. They're going to try to run the ball on us. I think we got to play defense. We have to do some 8-man front stuff, in order to stay with them. And then, special teams outstanding, and offensively they can move the ball. They're going to run it. So we got to, we just got to match their intensity. You know what? I don't know really how much we made up the ground athletically. I just feel that we're a little bit better prepared than a year ago. You know, the ground, they still have a big gap. You know, they're bigger, they're physical. Those kids been in their program 4 years. This only been a year and a half that we've really actually been together. So, you know, for what our guys are doing with this little amount of time is probably it's very special to me. But, you know, they're still talented. They still got Trey Watt. They still got their big offensive line. They still got those good receivers. So we just got to go out there and play our game. We got to stop this running game again, and, you know, we got to move the ball. Whoever's the quarterback, he's going to have to make some throws that are going to help us win. You know, I still think that we got to play very, very well to play Tulsa. You got to understand one thing about a program like Tulsa. That's the type of team that you're not going to knock their confidence down. They're not going to give up. They're just going to continue to play and play and play. So you got to match their intensity. They feel that they're the champions of the league, that we'll have to go in and we have to dethrone the champ. Well, the champion always has a little bit of chip on their shoulder. So, you know, we got to play outstanding to play with this team. This team's a very good football team. There's a lot of guys back from last year's team. So, you know, yeah, we got to play very, very good, and you know, they got to give us some stuff. Well, I don't know if we can do that. You know, we just got a game plan like we do. We talked about how we were going to win those 2 games. We knew going into the North Texas that Nick was hurt. You know, if Louisiana Tech and Syracuse, he was hurt. So it wasn't going to be throw it left, throw it right. That's not what we were going to do. We want to run it. We want to play a complementary game with our defense and our special teams. And so we're still not going to just go out there and try to just win the game on offense. You know, I think our defense got to protect us. Our defense got to play well. You know, the special teams got to play well, and we're going to do what we have to do on offense to try to get a victory.
To go back a little bit to the quarterbacks, make sure I understand. You said that, you know, Jordy and Devin and Nick all got reps today. Is there any scenario where you would see all 3 playing on Saturday? Or would you rather just, if Devin's healthy, Nick's still the way he is right now, just go with Devin and protect him?
Well, if that's the case, then if Devin's not, if Nick's not as healthy as we'd like him to be, then yeah, we'll definitely have to go with Devin, and we'll definitely go with Jordy, because, you know, we have a little package for him that we really didn't get to some of it. But if Nick's healthy, I want to play Nick. You know, I want to play him, and then, you know, I definitely want to play Devin also. So you may see those 2, and then Jordy is over here with his package if those 2 are playing. So you could see all 3 of them playing, or you could see 2 of them playing.
You know, which creates closest problems of its own.
I don't think so. You know, I think what you do is you do what guys' strengths are, and I think each of them have different strengths. You know, Jordy has his package. Then, you know, Devin, we see what he can do. He gets rid of the ball quick, and Nick can just about do it all. It's what is health going to help him to do? What's going to enable him to do?
Possession time, I know with Tulsa, you know, they've struggled a little bit with that. That's been something that's helped you win games.
Exactly.
How much is that the strategy?
Very important. It's what we talked about. It's what we talked about last week against ECU. We had to keep the time of possession. Now, we barely won it. You know, we won it 30-29, but that was important because we didn't want this team to just continue to get the ball. And you saw what they did last week to Southern Miss. They kept the ball, and it was 55 points later. So that was part of the strategy of not going out and throwing a pick or getting a 3 and out. We just wanted to possess the ball, and what we talked about all week. And this is a similar game. If we can win this time of possession against Tulsa, I think it enhances us for getting a chance to play with these guys.
How much did it, I mean, I'm sure you read the parts of the Rice Tulsa film. I mean, how much did you learn from that game film on how to beat Tulsa to really slow them up?
Yeah, you know what, Rice, I thought they did a phenomenal job. They did some things that we're not accustomed to doing, but one thing Rice did do, Rice moved the ball on offense. Rice played from ahead against them. Rice kind of turned them into one-dimensional. They did make some plays at the Rice game, but, you know, and then you look at the Colorado State film. It was a very, very similar MO. So to me, if we come out and we can establish some stuff, get this time of possession, make them play from behind a little bit, I think our secondary is very, very opportunistic, and I think we'll play well. we doing a little bit more with him this week. You just don't want to all of a sudden just throw this offense on him because it's a lot. We hadn't thrown it all on Nick, but he's playing better. He's getting a little bit more with what he's doing. He has a clearer understanding of more stuff. Now he can do the stuff that he can do. It's just when we get in certain situations, he just needs a little bit more help. But he's getting better at that. I thought he was outstanding today. I thought he threw the ball well today. He played well.
CJ, how's this last week been? I know you're trying to keep the kids even keel, but you got to be cautious to think about. I know a lot of people are telling how worried they are. How tough has it been to keep these kids?
The first day we got back Sunday, and the first thing we talked about was that your mother's going to tell you how good you are, your dad, your grandparents, your coaches, all the people in your school. Everybody telling you, your girlfriends. I told them they got more girlfriends now than they ever had. Everybody's telling them how good they are. Well, the thing is, my wife, she tells me, I told her the story about my wife. She's in bed. Golly, you guys are so great. You're so great. Well, no, we're not. We're the same Tulane team we've been. We just got to continue to work. It's not that. We're not there yet. What we need to do is continue to work, continue to improve, continue doing, play hard. And then when this thing is all over in January, when I give them about an hour off, we can look back and just have a nice little hour party. And then we'll start again for next year. Here's what they do. I think Coach Washington and Coach Summerall, they do a fantastic job game planning. Jason Rollins also and Barry Lamb, they do a great job of game planning. The things that we talked about in the summer, that's the things that we're doing. First thing we talked about, turnovers. You see now I think we're second in turnover margin in the NCAA, which is perfect for what we are. We're a young team. We're opportunistic. Our secondary don't have a conscience. They don't care. They get beat. They just come back. The defensive line coming out, they come to play. We're playing a lot of different guys, and they're all playing well. So those are the two things. And then all of a sudden we talked about stopping the run. And I really believe that if we can make this team, any team, one-dimensional, it enhances our chances of winning. And that's a big question. That's one of the things that I'm not really. You don't really know what to do when you say, okay, here it is. We got a young man that means so much to our program. And he's the driving force of what we do all the time. He's constantly with us, physically or not. And then all of a sudden we are kind of honoring him and we're doing something for him. So that's the thing the trick that you got to have this week is. Emotionally, we got to stay even keel. We got to keep him down a little bit. But we also want them to celebrate him and what he's done. I just hope that we can get through appreciating him, but then focus on the task at hand. And the biggest task is to win this football game.
Does it help having him at home for that, not being in that environment where that's probably a big trigger?
Absolutely. You just love being here. You love being where you are, what we're familiar with, and we're familiar with him. So I think it'll work out for us. I just hope we just keep winning, and I think the product itself will speak for itself. If we continue to play good defense and we continue to play special teams really well, then all of a sudden this offense is going to come around. I think the second half of the season will be good, for us. Then I think as we get going, we continue to win. I think winning breeds that, fan base. Winning breeds, what we call. I told them last year that we had this little fake, this fake. What you call it? Bandwagon. We had this little bandwagon sitting over here where nobody was on it last year. Then all of a sudden we got about 3 or 4 people. Now we got about 10 people on our bandwagon. So as we get going, I think this bandwagon will be hopefully by the end of the year. At the end of the year, we need 2 bandwagons. So we'll get 2 of them. About 10 right now, just about 10. But we'll get another. But if we need more, Ed, we'll get another bandwagon. Oh, the relatives like my wife cooking, so they come to the game, so they're guaranteed for a free meal after the game. So that's the relatives. Mm-hmm.
Right now, your position in this conference changes. This game Saturday, obviously, is very important. Have you allowed yourself or allowed the team to change the goal for the year?
Absolutely not. You know, the goal is really short-sighted. You know, one thing we just talk about one day, one step at a time. You know, and I don't want, the one thing that I'm going to guarding against is reflections. I don't want reflections halfway through the season. We can reflect after this whole thing over. So it's just one game, it's one play, it's one practice. Let's just keep going and keep doing that. And then when you got a young team, you don't want to be long-sighted. You want to be very, very short-sighted. You want to play the game that's right in front of you.
CJ, that's all, same question. Is that even talked about during all four practice? I mean, I know a lot of people have goals on the wall in their locker rooms that say like, you know, conference champion, national champion. Has that ever been even talked about even preseason? Hey, there's a shot we can maybe do something.
What I've said in the first meeting is that was one of the expectations. Now, whatever it was all of the above. Now, what are we gonna do? You know, we got an open book. Let's write it. Let's put it all in right now. And right now it's going pretty well for us. It could be better, but it's going pretty well for us right now. Anything else? Thank you, guys.